Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. And today I want to get into a pair of kicks that my wife's sneakers account actually hit for. These dropped the same day that the Beluga Reflectives dropped, and thank goodness that I hit on these, at least on one account, because I got skunked on the Belugas, I got skunked on the MX Rocks, and both of those pairs I was really hoping to pick up for retail, but you know the way it goes sometimes. Anyhow, I hit on these Jordan 1 handcrafted shoes in my personal size, and then I also just recently hit on the bubblegum Jordan 1s in my wife's size. So even though I'm striking out on 350s, at least I'm not striking out on Jordan 1s, you know? But anyhow, if you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's get into these handcrafted Jordan 1s. I probably don't even need to say it anymore, but y'all know that I love a unique looking box. And this really reminds me of the prototype box that we got just not that long ago. Those weren't my favorite shoes. Immediately, I like the color scheme of this pair, the handcrafted pair, more. And for some reason, I just think the extra like reflective hits and that sort of thing, I think it works better on this pair, but we'll get into that. The colors represent the shoe. It's got some hunter green on it, but this side is almost like a brownish purple. And then it's got some of this neon orange, which is also on the shoe, on the tag, and on the laces, but we'll get into that as well. The bottom is nothing but that purplish brown color and that fluorescent orange. But I really like how unique that box is, and I love the fact that I can look at the box, and without getting up and looking at the tag, I know what shoes are in there. The tag reads Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG, and the colors are black, Archaeo brown, and that's all it has listed. But this is a size 10.5, and the retail on these was 170 bucks. So we already know that the box was unique, but look at how unique these shoes are. And of course, the shape is a Jordan 1. There's no mistaking that. We've all seen that before. But I think these things are dope looking. And like I said just a minute ago, for some reason, I think these work better for me than what the prototypes did. I don't know why, but I just couldn't, I just wasn't feeling the prototypes too much. But these, on the other hand, I could see me wearing these. Like, this is a shoe that I think would go with just about anything this winter. So I don't know, I just really like the way these came out. I love the choice of colors. I love that chocolate brown or Archaeo brown, whatever they call it, but I love that color on the mudguard. And then you also see it back here, and it's a nice nubuck material. You get a lot of life out of it, and it feels really, really high end. Immediately you can tell that the leather on these things, it's really, really nice. I don't know if you can see all that texture on those side panels or not. The toe box just looks a lot more smooth. It feels like the same leather. It feels really nice. It's got really nice quality, and it has those ripples that I like to see. I think they knocked these out of the park. I like how unique that Wings logo is, the way it's like a patch and it's just kind of like tattered looking. I think there's so many aspects of this shoe that came out really, really well. I'm trying to adjust where my camera's sitting to make sure that the light on these things is okay. Of course I can see them okay, but I don't know how it's coming across on the screen, so hopefully you're getting a good look at them. It's cold out here today, daggone it. I saw the sun shining. It hasn't been shining much lately at all, so I really wanted to get these reviews done out here, but man, I can barely feel my hands. I don't know how visible that is, but the sock liner is quilted, and so is the insole. So I think it's going to be really, really, really comfortable. And before I forget as well, it came with these Union style laces that are black on the bottom, but then at the top they've got this neon orange, and I think that's a pretty neat touch. I'll probably just keep those in, but the spares that they gave us are just an all black pair, and then like a sail color that matches the base of the shoe. I always like getting options like that. But getting into the shoe, we've got a standard Jordan 1 tread pattern. Everybody's seen that before. No surprise there. Pivot point under the forefoot, Nike branding there in the middle. And it's a nice black color, just looks classic. And then you can see that outsole comes up to meet a sail colored midsole. I wouldn't call that bright white. It doesn't look real antique or anything like some sail stuff does, but it's a cream or an off-white. I don't think they labeled it as sail, but I would call it sail more so than just white. And then there on the mud guard, we'll see that nice brown nubuck material. And I like how right behind that there's a little accent of like a reflective material. It's almost like a little border, but you can see it right behind. You can see it right behind this mud guard. That little strip is reflective, and I like anything that adds a little layer of pop. But we've got this nice brown nubuck on the mud guard, and then wrapping around the back. On the eye stays, we've got like a hunter green nubuck, and then along the bottom of the heel we've got like a Bordeaux color nubuck. And I like how on all that the stitching is like white, so you see that little bit of contrast. I just think that's a nice touch. You don't see that very often. Most of the time all the stitching matches whatever panel it's on, but on this they gave us some contrasting stitching, and it's really neat. The rows are really clean, and I think it just adds a neat, unique touch to this pair of shoes. But then, much like the prototypes, this has that extra reflective material back here, and I don't know if I'm a fan of that. It works on this pair. I don't dislike it on this pair. On the prototypes, I really didn't like the way that it looked, but I think it looks pretty cool, nice and unique. And then the swoosh feels like it's like a, I guess it's just a black nubuck as well, and it seems like a nice material. The stitching matches that panel. But then I already mentioned, I love how this Wings logo is like a patch on these shoes. I think that's really, really neat looking. And then up around the collar, we've got this nice feeling black leather. And I mentioned that the sock liner is quilted, but it's black in color, which I also really like. We've got a black nylon tongue like we typically get in Jordans, and it's got black piping. And then there at the top you can see in bright orange that we've got Nike Air branding. But I am freezing, so it's about time to go inside. Let me know what you all think of these. I think they're pretty nice looking, and I'm pumped to have them in my collection. I haven't hit any 350 V2s lately, but that's just the way it goes. I am glad that I hit on these, and be on the lookout for the bubblegum Jordan 1 review. Have a good one.